If you're looking to release your music online to Spotify, Apple Music, and a whole bunch of other places, there's 4 things you need. You need your song, you need a title, you need album artwork, and you need a distributor. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how to get all those sorted and get your music out to the world. Let's go. Now we're going to start with number 4 and work our way backwards, because unless you've got a distributor, doesn't matter how good your song is, it's not going anywhere. And the distributor that I use and recommend are these folks, DistroKid. With DistroKid, you can release an unlimited number of songs, EPs, and albums for one yearly subscription fee, and it starts at just $19.99 per year, and you can even save yourself 7% off by using the link down in the description. Full disclosure, DistroKid are a sponsor of this channel, including my weekly Your Music live show where I play your independent songs. However, I've been using DistroKid well before they sponsored this channel because they simply are the easiest and simplest way to get your music online. Moving backwards to number 3, you'll need some album artwork for your release, and who I use and recommend are Canva.com. They are free, they're an Australian company, and they're a great way to get some design for your album artwork done. There is a paid account as well, and there is also an affiliate link in the description, but you can sign up for free right now and create some pretty cool album artwork without a whole lot of effort. For this release, I came up with a concept that looked a little bit something like this. I designed it here in Canva using my Canva premium account, but there's a heap of assets you can use even on the free version, and there's a video in the description all about how to create your album artwork for free using Canva. And because Canva is so intuitive and easy to use, I actually gave that concept to my 12-year-old daughter, and she actually built upon it and came up with this, which I think is pretty darn cool. However, I've changed the name of this song from Grown Ass Man to simply Grown. So I took her concept, made a few tweaks, and here is the album artwork that I'm going to use. So I'm simply going to hit the share button here, download this as a JPEG at 3000 by 3000 pixels, which is important because you need a high resolution file. And again, if you want more information about all this stuff, head over to my FAQ about releasing music, which is linked right there and in the description. Here's the thing, when you're deciding on the title for your song, your EP, your album, think about a few things. You want it to be distinct, you want it to be kind of easy to spell and to say, and you want it to be searchable. So the reason that I moved this from Grown Ass Man to just Grown, Grown, is it's going to be a lot cleaner and simpler, and I'm not going to run into any problem because sometimes the platforms don't like words even kind of, PG rated words like ASS. So we're going with Grown for this title. There's a heap of information about how you should title your songs. And once again, head over to my DistroKid FAQ at studiolivetoday.com/DistroKid for all of that information to make sure you pick the right name. And rolling all the way back to number 1, last and first but not least, is your audio file. So you will need a WAV file. That's an uncompressed, hopefully mastered version of your final song. Now, I'm lucky enough to have had my friend Jade Starr master this song, and she gave me 3 different masters. I finally selected which one I'm going with, so I've got that audio file here ready to go. I'm going to put that and the album artwork into a separate folder, and then I'm ready to upload and release my song. It's time to release our song. Once you've signed up to DistroKid and you've logged in, just hit the upload button up the top here and we're going to get cracking. There's a few things to go through, so feel free to hit the pause button or jump over to the DistroKid releasing FAQ linked in the description. But the first thing we have here is all the different services. So we're going to make sure these are all ticked. We're even going to tick Snapchat, which we just need to say, yes, I own 100% of the publishing. And then we need to choose whether it's a song, an EP, or an album. This time it's just a song, but if we had multiple songs, we would drop that down and then add those in there. Let's move on to the next step. Previously released? No. If you've released it before with a different distributor or you've taken it down and you're going to re-release it, you will need to select yes. If you're brand new, you'll need to add your artist or band name here. I've got the Musician Plus plan, and there's a complete description of the difference between the Musician and the Musician Plus plan in the video linked below, but I'm going to select my name here because this one's going to be released under my artist name. These next sections are all about Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. If you're a brand new artist, you won't get exactly these. It'll say, we're going to set you up. And the great thing about DistroKid is that they will set up your Spotify for artists, your Apple artists, and your YouTube Music artist pages all for you. So that's all good to go. I've checked this link here. That's definitely me. So we're ready to go to the next step. Release date. Now it's the 28th of September here in Australia. I've left this a little bit too late because I wanted this out on the 1st of October. So we're going to try and go with October the 1st here, 2022. Now what DistroKid will probably tell me is this is a little bit tight. So usually it's going to take you around about anywhere between 2 or 3 up to about 7 days to release a song. Now that varies depending on demand and it varies by platform. But if you wanted to release this and maybe get playlist placement and do other things, you will want to release it at least 2 weeks in advance to make sure there's plenty of time to get it out there. We're going to roll the dice here and see what happens. These next options are only in the Musician Plus plan, so you can select your release time, you can do time synchronization, you can allow pre-orders. I'm not going to worry about any of that on this particular release. I'm just going to let it all go by default. Record label is the same. If you're on the Musician plan, it'll just be DK and a number. If you want the ability to add your own record label name, make sure you're on the Musician Plus plan. I am, so I've got Studio Live Today Records. Album artwork time. Let's click on this and select this artwork. So find the JPEG that you created earlier, hit the open button, or you can drag it in from another window, and there it is, our album artwork ready to rock. And pay attention to these bits of advice down here because the stores and the streaming platforms will reject your album artwork if it doesn't meet the specifications required, including resolution, blurriness of image, hashtags. Check out the full information over at my FAQ, studiolivetoday.com/distrokid. Language is English, and now time to select our genres. Now for this one, it's a folk song, but it's a little bit country. So for the first time in history, I'm going to select country as one of my genres. All right, hit the pause button. Time for something else that's important. That's our song title. We talked about the importance of this before. We need to make sure it is spelled correctly and that it doesn't do any of the things down here that you can't do. And once again, that FAQ is going to be your friend. Don't put things like hashtag in here. If you've got a featured artist, make sure you follow the featured artist rules. It is really strict around this stuff. It's not hard, but if you get it wrong, you're going to regret it because it's going to take you a lot longer to fix it up afterwards. So read through all that information. But if you've got a simple title like I do here, throw it in there. You're good to go. However, we don't have a featured artist and we don't have any versions. So we can move on to what is probably the most important part of this, which is, of course, our song file. To add that, we're going to click this Choose File button, and there it is, our WAV file ready to go. We're going to hit Open, and there it is. It's going to sit there. Now, what I recommend you do is make sure you go back to that file and check that it is exactly as you want it for your release. That includes the lead time at the start of the song, the lead time at the end of the song, that everything is right. It's a full resolution WAV file. And if none of that meant anything to you, once again, a heap more videos that give you more detail down in the description. Next section here, Dolby Atmos. No, I didn't mix this in Dolby Atmos. You can do that in things like Logic, and DistroKid do support it, so that's a very cool thing. Songwriter, I wrote the song and it is definitely mine. My real name, I need to put this in here, so it's going to be Peter and it's going to be John's. No explicit lyrics here. It is not a radio edit and it is not an instrumental. Preview clip time, I can decide if I want this to be right on the chorus, but I'm just going to let the streaming services decide that. And the track price here, 99 cents is the standard. You can make it $69 or $1.29 if you have the Musician Plus plan. There are a heap of cool options down the bottom here, which I'm not going to use for this release, and we're not going to go into detail about. But if you want to learn about them, check out the other videos here on the channel. I go through all of these and tell you what they're all about. The final section are some opt-ins. We need to make sure that we've ticked and selected all of these. You can hit the pause button right now and read those if you want to find out what you're agreeing to. And now it's time to hit done. But wait! Hold your horses. We need to go back up because I like to measure twice and release once. So we're going to go back up to the top, go through everything again. And once I'm happy, we're going to hit this big blue done button. All right, I've done my due diligence and it's time to hit the done button. Let's see what happens. Drum roll, please. Boom. So our album artwork has uploaded, and because our track is a full resolution WAV file, which you really need to make sure it is a 24-bit or at least 44.1 kilohertz WAV file. And if you need to learn what that all means, plenty of videos here on the channel about that. But it just means make sure that your final release version is not compressed, because once you release it to these platforms, they're going to compress it for streaming. So we'll wait for this to finish uploading, and then we're pretty much done. There you go, done. That was easy, wasn't it? DistroKid have been telling me that for many years, and I continue to agree with that statement. It was super easy to get it out there. Now, there's one more thing that you might want to look at. You can see here, I knew that I'd get this warning. My release date is cutting it close. It may not actually get out there by October 1st on every platform. So again, keep that 2-week rule in mind if you want to do that. The other thing that we can do is start looking at hyperfollow. Now, you can take a look at the pre-save page here, which is a version of hyperfollow, and I've got other videos about the hyperfollow link you can set up that are linked in the description. Let's hit this preview and jump in here. There it is. It looks cool. It's ready to rock and roll. It'll be available soon. Spotify folks, you can pre-save it right now. If you're watching this video right now, why not go ahead and do that? Releasing your music online is just that simple. Over the next couple of days, I'll get emails back from DistroKid telling me that my album artwork, my song file have been approved, and then as soon as it hits all of those different platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon, I'll get separate emails telling me about that. If you want to learn a heap more about DistroKid, do check out my DistroKid FAQ and the videos linked there and there. They've got a heap of information in them, and I'll see ya next time.